In order to understand our next behavior, everybody needs to crinkle up their forehead like this, because you're going to have to understand this one from the inside out to be successful with it. Okay, crinkle up your forehead. Put the weight of the world on your shoulders. Slump forward with the weight of it all. Come on, this is not television. This is interactive media here. And repeat after me. He's making me do this. Come on 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. He's making me do this. You're not all doing it. Come on. Come on, everybody's got to do it. All right, try this one. The person who should be at this program isn't. 1, 2, 3. The person who should be at this program isn't. All right, good. Now fold up your arms, cock your head back, be really sure of yourself, and as you shake your head, say, forget it. It's hopeless. Nothing ever changes. That didn't take any prodding. All right, do it one more time and feel the difference inside yourself between these two states of being. Crinkle and slump. Repeat after me. I'm doing the work of 3 people. 1, 2, 3. I'm doing the work of 3 people. All right, now fold them up again. Cock your head back. Make sure you get a little head action in there. And say, I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3. I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. You feel a difference here? This is whining. This is negativity. This is helpless, but maybe if I annoy you, you'll do something. This is hopeless. Same genus, different species. And in a way, negativity is fossilized whining. Goes on, what's the use? Why bother? A lot of what applies to one applies to the other. We'll look at whining specifically first, though everything I'm going to tell you about whining right now will also apply to negativity. And then we'll look at the special case of being negative. Your goal if people are whining is to get them to problem solve. And then this is really, in a way, true with negativity. See, the root of whining is a feeling of being helpless. The root of negativity is a feeling of being hopeless. If you just take care of it, you don't address that. But if you can set up a situation where they have to problem solve, that addresses helpless and hopeless, and you can get whining or negativity to go away. If you can't get that result, your secondary goal is get them to go away. Well, here's the bad news. You'll have to begin by listening to them, but then you'll interrupt. How will you know when it's time to interrupt them? How will you know when it's time to interrupt them? How will you know when it's time to interrupt them? When they repeat themselves. When people whine or when they are negative, there's a tendency to do it in endless loop tapes. These tapes are going to go around as many times as you allow them. Let them come around once, but as soon as you're hearing something you already heard in this sitting, that's your signal to interrupt. You say, excuse me, interrupting. I just want to make sure I understand. Statement of intent. So you're saying blah, 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 and you give a complete backtrack summary of everything you've got so far, and you blend by showing you've listened. Then you dig in, and with patience and persistence, you clarify. And what you want to do is break down the big generalizations to specifics. But just because you ask for specifics doesn't mean they're going to give them to you. In fact, you must expect that they're not. If you say, what's wrong? They say, everything's wrong. Okay, but what specifically is wrong? Well, all of it. When does it occur? It happens all the time. Who's doing it? Everybody. What have you tried? Everything. Have you been there? This is par for the course with whining and negativity. You will go 5 questions, if not 7, spinning your wheels, going absolutely nowhere. You've got to expect this because the natural human response to this is to bail out after 3 questions and offer a solution. Do not bail. Your goal at this stage is to outlast them. Even if that means recycling questions you've already asked. See, here's natural human behavior. As conscious communicators, what do? We stop at 2 or 3 red lights on the way someplace. We say, all the lights are red today. We meet 2 or 3 people in a bad mood. Everybody's in a bad mood today. This is human behavior. So, with whining or negativity, they have 2 or 3 real examples then it's everybody all the time, everything. So you dig a little deeper, and then finally you hit bottom, meaning you're looking at the specifics of a real problem. You may know really, surely what needs to be done, but don't say it yourself. Instead, you ask them for the solution. Well, what do you think should be done? And a lot of them will go, well, I guess we should, and they'll get right off the whining bus. You'll be amazed, well, why didn't they think of that before? Well, the reason they didn't think of that before is human beings can only pay attention to 7 things at once, and if I'm looking at the generalization, everything is wrong, I can't problem solve a generalization. The first steps are specifics to problem solving. Other people at this same moment will want something that maybe is valid, but it's totally unrealistic. I'm doing the work of 3 people. I want 2 more people. If that's not going to happen, you have to say, well, we both know Ebenezer will not go for that, so what do you want? Just tell like it is and ask again until whatever they want becomes realistic. Other people at this stage you'll discover are venting. I just need to get it out of my system. And then you say, oh, okay, you're venting. All right, I didn't realize. All right, you got 5 minutes. Go. Now, this is very important. The difference in venting and wallowing is venting is intentional to feel better, and venting has an endpoint. Wallowing just goes on and on unconsciously. Not to mention, venting has permission from a ventee. May I vent in your presence? Wallowing has no permission. So at the end of 5 minutes, you'll go, your time is up. Now what do you want? Other people at this stage will give you the classic, I don't know. You ever hear it, I don't know? This is your nothing person's first response on a talkative day. I don't know. All right, here's what you do with all I don't knows, no matter who says it, no matter where they say it, at home, school, or office. You say to them, guess, make something up. If you did know, what would it be? And then give an expectant look like this. If you want to experience how great the expectant look works with a nothing person, someday get on a crowded elevator, pick out a stranger at random and go, they confess to all kinds of funny things. Hey, you got to entertain yourself on the road.